Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an alley to run. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Ready, blue 80, blue 80. Check 55 to Myers. Hey, defense, let's go. Ready to go.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
59, ready. 25. Hey, come on now. Ready,
on second down, it's Cook. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now 3rd and 5.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Ryan. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Sanders. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the 1st quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Ben Gideon. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain there of 21 yards.
1st down, Houston.
Set. 19. Check 52's the line. Bring it. Bring it.
Watson on 1st down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
3rd and long, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 46 yards.
Texans, 1st down.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans push further out in front. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
Next to score, Texans 14, Vikings 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it, and they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Bryant tacks on the extra point. 21-3 is your score after 1. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. But he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Check 50. Check 50.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run, Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And it makes the score 21-10. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Oh, you got deep? Hey, stay 24.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Going deep here for Stills. He's got a man complete. And he will finally go out of bounds just shy of the 40. A huge play there for Houston. And even 40 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, 31.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
We got 4.
On first down, it's Watson being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, D.
That's caught out wide by Stills. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Deshaun Watson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans push further out in front. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A first update now from Cleveland, and it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Ryan. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. The Sanders has got it complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8. 36-yard line.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
He finds his man Johnson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check 41. Hey, watch the slant.
Ready to go. On 2nd and 9. Ryan open here, Adam Thielen. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And the Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready, Blue 80. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Ready, son.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 4-yard line.
Set, 19, 52. Come on, D. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Time to go, night. Mike 52.
From his goal line here, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Watson with a give to Miller. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
39-yard line.
Set, 19, 29. Coming this way, here we go.
From the gun, here's Watson, dumping it off for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Vikings pick up the football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Oh, design run for their wideout. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ready, blue 80, black 25. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
On second down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Check. Frag now. Frag. X3. 218. Chopper.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
Shift. Watch the shift.
Now Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here's Watson. With a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Lamar Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Watson now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Here we go. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Six guard. Check 6 guard. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Out of the gun, Watson going deep for Hopkins. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Play action. It's Ryan. Lets it fly for Thielen. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Watson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And now here's a deep shot that's complete.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Watson now operating from the gun. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack on first down, Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. From the gun, Watson. Going deep here for Stills. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Cook running right. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. On 2nd and 9, Ryan. He's got Smith here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. And they'll indeed take a knee. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Thinking back to 2015, didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
And Charles, in this one, the 4th quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out. And I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for Houston, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. I come to bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support rod. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coupes. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze. Freeze. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
And New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it.